Now, and let's talk about this again as we get back to Jamaica, as Monster Melissa destroyed everything in its path, and the economic impacts are expected to be catastrophic. The losses are estimated at around $8 billion, that's with a B. While the tourism industry took a hard hit, this fallout could slow Jamaica's economic growth by 3% next year. Let's welcome Fox Business contributor Phil Flynn. Phil, we appreciate you joining us. And tell us how severe
Thanks, Nick.
The economic toll from Hurricane Melissa truly is.
It's almost unimaginable. When you look at Jamaica, 40% of their entire gross domestic product comes from tourism and agriculture. And both of those were wiped out, basically, at least for the short term. When you look at Jamaica, you think about coffee, you think about bananas. In fact, Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee is some of the most sought after in the world. It's very popular in Japan. And again, that's one of their big imports, $50 to $100 a pound. So all of that's going to be lost. And the human toll is just unbelievable, with the loss of life. So this is going to be a masterful attempt to rebuild this Jamaica and Haiti and the entire area.
Yeah, you touched on it, and so many people have so many wonderful memories wrapped up in that beautiful island nation. It's truly paradise. A lot of people go there, not just for vacation, but for destination weddings and honeymoons. And like you said, tourism is 40% of its GDP. With such a big share of Jamaica's economy being tourism, how long could it take for that sector to truly bounce back, in your opinion?
It's going to take years, right? When you look at some of the more hot areas, where the resorts are, they're probably going to bounce back a lot faster because there's more insurance. But there's a lot of part of the island that isn't insured, or rural areas, that it could take 3 to 5 years to bounce back. So this is going to be a long haul. Now, hopefully, some of the tourism can come back quicker, but a lot of people are going to start canceling their plans. They don't want to go there, and so that's going to be tough. So this is going to be a big challenge for Jamaica to come back. We think they will, and we think the international efforts are going to help, but make no mistake about it, it's going to take a lot of pain and suffering in the short term.
He's 100% correct. Think about how much time everybody talks about going to Jamaica for vacations. And it's not just the resorts they stay at. They go all throughout Jamaica. They go visit different local areas that are now devastated, that are now destroyed. So those areas aren't going to be able to get any revenue from the tourists anymore either. The resorts, yes, they have insurance. Still going to take a little time for them to rebuild and everything like that. But it's just going to stop people from coming in general. So $8 billion is crazy. And let's keep going.
Sometimes when you have a disaster like this, a little bit of good can come out of it, in the sense that things get rebuilt bigger and better for next time, and there are some operating procedures in place in case something like this happens again. Could this storm be a bit of maybe a wake-up call, so to speak, for stronger Caribbean-wide insurance, and then also maybe climate resilience efforts as well?
Nick, you're absolutely correct. Because we've learned from every one of these storms, good can come out of bad and good can come out of disasters. For example, here in the United States, we learned a lot from Hurricane Katrina, in the energy industry, economically, how to handle those things better. And in Jamaica, too, we're seeing the value, of course, of things like catastrophe bonds, right? Where, big investors, make big bets against this, but it's like having extra insurance. And why that's important is because Jamaica can tap that money right away, and get back to work building. And of course, there's a lot of people that will, say we can build Jamaica better, next time around, and be more prepared for these type of storms in the future. And that's going to be a good thing for everybody. And it could be this rebuild of Jamaica, hopefully, can be a model for the rest of the region as well.
Yeah, you hope. What about uninsured losses for small businesses and farmers? How does that affect Jamaica's broader recovery?
It's going to take some time, and they're going to probably need some help, right, from international agencies. We get bananas, we get rice from that part of country, we get bitumen, we get things for aluminum. And this could lead to supply chain shortages, and we could even feel a small impact from this in the United States. Though it won't have a big impact on what we pay for things, it could increase the cost of things we buy here in the United States. Supply chain issues, we learned a lot about that during the shutdown. This could add to that kind of problem with some of these major ports being shut down.
Could this impact some of the cruise liners and the cruise industry at all?
It sure does. This is one of the main destinations, these islands. When you talk about the Dominican Republic, even in Haiti and different areas of these cruise line stops at these different ports. And of course, they're going to change their itinerary, to avoid these places, until they get built back up. But
that's what the cruisers aren't going to suffer a crazy amount. Not as much as Jamaica's economy, of course, because they will change the islands. They're going to change to a different island. That's how they like to do it. They'll change to an island that's not devastated, and they're still going to be making their money. They're going to send the revenue that would have gone to Jamaica, to somewhere else. But let's keep going.
What we've seen from a lot of the cruise lines in the past, they're going to be a big proponent of rebuilding these areas, right? And I think they're going to try to get back to these areas as soon as it's humanly possible, to help, Jamaica, and the Dominican Republic rebuild, because it's good business for them that these places come back quickly, because the faster they come back, the faster they can bring people there and get people on those cruise lines.
Yeah, you just hate to see such a beautiful place, truly paradise, in shambles, and such a sunny, vibrant place with beautiful history and culture, and the people there all having to go through this. It's just terrible to see. Fox Business contributor Phil Flynn.
Absolutely crazy. Now we want to do an update. So as of November 4th, it looks like a total death count of 67 people. 67 people. We got 32 in Jamaica, 31 in Haiti. Dominican Republic counts 2 people. Panama counts 4, and Cuba has no deaths reported. So that is what the death toll is right now as of November 4th. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. The crew, I don't know if cruise lines will come and help rebuild the port areas. I think they will. My thought is that they will just let Jamaica do that themselves. Maybe if they have some ownership in the port portion, then yes, I can see that happening. But most of the time, I'm thinking that they're just going to go to a different island that hasn't been devastated, that the port is still available for use, because they're still going to be having people filling up the ships and then going on a destination cruise. That's how it is. Absolutely wild, y'all. But we had to get over into it and see what the economical impact was for Jamaica itself, which was hit the hardest. That and Haiti. We haven't heard about Haiti yet, but we will get into that another day. It's a crazy situation, y'all. It's a crazy situation. At the end of the day, we got to pray for everybody. Pray for everybody in these areas in the Caribbean. Natural disasters. It's hard to, you can't stop them, but you just got to be prepared as much as you can. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, everybody, remember this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.